you've built the most financially, I would say, successful hip and knee practice in the world, where people will come from all over the place, pay cash, do what they mean. To walk us through it, was there a moment that flipped and you realized I could do this and I can start, people will start coming from distances? When did that start happening? And walk us through that, how that evolution happened.
So I'd like to take credit for it. I can't. This was George's model.
Really?
This was George's model. George, you have to remember that back in the 80s, there weren't a lot of arthroplasty surgeons. George was the world famous arthroplasty surgeon. George was getting $10,000 cash in the 80s.
I do remember as a med student, you would do one in the morning and like maybe take a little siesta, just relax a little bit, and do another one in the afternoon back then. I mean,
but think about in the $10,000 in the 80s.
Oh my God.
I know, it's like $70,000, $80,000 now, right? Exactly,
That's crazy.
Exactly. But George. And that was George's model. Now, George's wasn't a busy model. George's busiest year,
Right.
He did 215 cases, his busiest year ever. But it was to have, I guess we call it a concierge practice now, but it was to provide high touch from both himself and his staff and have people come from all over and charge a lot of money for it. And I wanted to adopt that model. Couldn't do it at first, of course. But then as I got busier and busier and busier and busier, the light switch moment for me was my daughter's first birthday, my first daughter's first birthday. So this was 21 years ago.
Yeah.
Marianne had a cake. It was a Wednesday night. Marianne had a cake, and I was supposed to get home early, but naturally, the OR ran late, and they didn't have staffing, and I got bumped, and I missed my daughter's first birthday cake. Which, by the way, we did something different for all the years subsequently. Is that your kids have no idea when their birthday is. You can tell them it's on a Saturday.
Right?
Exactly.
That's fair.
And until the girls started school, their birthdays were Saturdays or Sundays. Whatever was closest.
Totally fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Let's not stress the parents out too bad. But
exactly.
Right,
exactly.
Was that your oldest? That was
my oldest. So that was 21 years ago.
Yeah.
So I decided at that point that I was going to drop out of Medicare.
That was the moment?
That was the moment. I had run the numbers.
No, wait. What year was this? What?
That was 21 years ago. So that was 5.
Holy cow.
2005. So I talked about it a little bit before, and the practice was like, well, I don't think you should do it. And anyway, so at 2005, I decided I'm dropping out of Medicare. That's it. I'm done. I ran my numbers, and the numbers were that 41% of my cases were Medicare, but about 15% of my income was Medicare. So I said, would I lose 15% of my income to have 41% more free time? Of course I would. So I dropped out of Medicare. Now, the next year, I just got busier still with private pay patients. And my numbers fortunately never went down, except now I dropped out of Medicare. I was having patients pay for Medicare to come see me. So not only did I make more private, but I also had Medicare patients. And after that, I subsequently dropped out of most insurance companies.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me that you did that so long ago, and people are just now starting to sort of talk about it. When you did that, though, it coincided with your recognition of the same day discharge happening at the same time. Is that right?
Well, actually, that was a little bit before. So I started to get busy as normal junior partners do.
Right.
But when I start doing outpatients, and I tell all my residents and fellows that you could put up a billboard anywhere you want, but you don't want those patients. Those patients are influenced by billboards. So unless you're going to keep that billboard up there for the rest of your life and pay for it the rest of your life, that's going to come down. Someone else is going to put a billboard up, and that patient who came to you is going to go see someone else. So you don't want advertising patients. You want patients from word of mouth. So I took great care of patients, had a great staff, and got word of mouth. Our practice at Rush was not driven by internists at all. In fact, we would send patients to the internists. They would never send them to us. So it was really by word of mouth. So I got more and more patients to come in through word of mouth.